So we have a fairly big change to the stimulus bill to announce to you. Many of you have heard it. If you haven't, I'm going to explain it out to you. In addition, there are some other changes that they're thinking about having as well. I'm going to talk to you about that. So the major change was done because of Joe Manchin, Jeanne Shaheen, and Kyrsten Sinema, who are moderate Democrats in the Senate, and they will not vote for the stimulus bill as written and passed by the House. They want some changes to be made before they're going to vote and pass the bill in the Senate. We already told you that this was going to happen. Matter of fact, according to our chart, this week was for debates, discussions, and changes to the bill, at which point they were going to make sure that all 50 senators would vote for this thing so that it would pass the Senate, and that's exactly what we're seeing. Those 3 senators wanted more targeted stimulus payments, and that's what they got. So here are the changes. If you are a single filer, if you earn $75,000 or less, you will get the full stimulus payments. However, if you earned $80,000 or more, you will immediately be cut off. That cutoff in the House's bill was $100,000. It's now $80,000 for single filers. If you are filing head of household $112,500 and under, you will get the full stimulus. If you made $120,000 or more, you'll be completely cut off. And those filing married joint, if you made $150,000 or less, you'll get the full stimulus. If you made $160,000 or more, you will now be fully, completely cut off from any stimulus money. That previously was $200,000. This change was confirmed by a Democratic aide who was involved in those talks. Some other changes that they've been thinking about making: the unemployment boost. There has been some talks of lowering it from $400 to $300. In addition, some of these moderate Democrat senators want to see more money given to the infrastructure of broadband in the United States of America, possibly taking $50 billion away from the state and local government money and putting that $50 billion into upgrading the broadband infrastructure in the United States. In addition, they want more help for small businesses and more money to go to rural hospitals. However, there hasn't been any confirmation on those changes yet, but it wouldn't surprise me if one or more of those made it into the final Senate bill. Apparently, they're creating multiple drafts of different areas of this new bill so that whatever decision they come up with, they could immediately create the final bill. And even when the final bill is created, it can still be changed. They want to bring this thing to the floor as soon as possible. But once it's brought to the Senate floor, there are 20 hours of deliberations on this thing, and any changes delays it getting passed. That's why they're creating multiple drafts so that they could quickly change the bill if needed. Now, I know many people are going to see this as only bad news. This is not only bad news, and this is the most important part of the reporting that I can give you. Yes, it is bad news if you are a single filer making $80,000 to $100,000. If you're in that group, you now lost your stimulus money. And of course, for the head of household and for the married filing joint, if you are in a particular group, married filing joint, if you make between $160,000 and $200,000, this is bad news for you. You are now left out of the stimulus check money. However, if you are still getting stimulus money, this is actually good news for you, because what this is showing is that they are changing the bill in order to ensure that all 50 Senate Democrats are going to vote for it. If there was no changes, if they told Joe Manchin, Jeanne Shaheen, and Kyrsten Sinema, we're not going to change this bill for you, you better just vote for it. If they did that, that would be bad news, because I guarantee you when this thing came up for the vote, one or more of them would not vote for it and it would not pass. But that's not what they're doing. They're actually changing the bill so that all 50 senators will vote for this. So overall, for most people, this is actually good news. But for those of you that fall into those ranges that were cut off entirely, it is, of course, terrible news. Let's go ahead and look at the calendar for when I believe this is all going to be distributed and passed. There are absolutely no changes from the episode yesterday. I believe that they're going to bring this thing to the Senate floor probably today or tomorrow, 20 hours of deliberation, and then there's going to be a vote maybe late Friday, possibly Saturday. I do have my circle around Saturday because I do believe that they're not going to be able to get it done until the weekend. I think that they're going to pass this thing with all the new changes on Saturday. I believe they're going to send it over to the House. The House is going to go ahead ahead and pass it on Monday. And I believe Biden signs this thing right around Tuesday, and we start to see our first stimulus checks. And by the way, the deadline, there was some questioning about that in the comments. The deadline is the time in which Biden must sign the bill, not when stimulus checks go out. Stimulus checks are going to go out approximately a week after Biden signs it. So the first ones, I believe, right around the 17th, and then they'll continue to funnel out over a 2-month period, of course, haphazardly, not alphabetically. There is no rhyme or reason to it. Some people get them in their deposits the first week. Some people get them the second week. Then checks start getting out. It's all kinds of craziness. But of course, eventually they get it to the most people who are supposed to be getting this bill. There are some people who are still worried if they're included. Everyone's included in this still. SSI, SSDI, all Social Security is included. Veterans are included in this. Adult dependents are included in this. Widows, RRB, low income, no income, anyone under 75,000 single filers, $150,000 joint filers, 112,500 head of household. Everyone's still included in this bill. No one's been cut off that way, but there is a small ranges that I talked about that have been cut off. Other than that, there's nothing really pressing to report to you. They are still on pace to pass this thing and get your stimulus check to you sometime by the end of this month. As always, thank you for coming along with me. I will catch you next time.